Are you struggling to come up with content ideas for maybe posting on social media? Maybe you're doing some blog posts, you're writing emails, but you're trying to think of things to post that's going to get, potential customers or teammates interested to actually connect with you. So if you're struggling to come up with things, then this episode is going to really help you, because we're going to be diving into knowing exactly who it is that you're talking to so you know what to say. So stay tuned for episode 2 of Jenny Stevens TV, which is a weekly training that I provide, where I give you a free resource and a free training every single week to help you in your business. So my name is Jenny Stevens, and I help network marketers, direct sellers, and affiliate marketers learn how to use the internet so you can generate new leads, get more customers, and recruit more teammates using the power of the internet. I'm all about leverage and creating systems and automation so you can get the time back to do the things that you love. You started this business for a reason, to hopefully spend more time or travel more, spend more time with your family. So I'm really here to help you use the internet to create a business that you love. So in this episode of Jenny Stevens TV, we're going to be diving in so you can be really crystal clear on who it is that you're talking to. So when you're doing your promotions, so especially if you're using Facebook already, when I very first got started in my network marketing business, I was taught, we were very social media based business, luckily, but it was all very much kind of blasting out product. We were just blasting out company graphics. I was making my own, but I was putting, so much detail on there. But it was just kind of posting it on my personal profile and just hoping that somebody would then be interested and contact me. Maybe they would comment, or, you'd hope that they'd message you or something like that. But the problem with that, it's called a bit of a spray and pray, because you're literally just blasting out your post and just praying that, it lands in front of somebody who's interested. And especially nowadays, Facebook, your posts are only going to be seen by such a small percentage of your friends. So it's really important to make sure that you understand who it is that you're talking to. So that's what we're going to be diving into today. Now, if you are using your personal profile, you can still do this, but I do recommend that you use a business page instead, because it gives, Facebook wants you to be using the business pages for business reasons, but also it gives you so much more ability to be able to connect to the right audience. So I've given you a free download below this video, which I'll talk about later, but this is really going to be a worksheet for you to be able to help go through the things that we're going to be talking about today. So first off, this is absolutely the number one thing that you need to do first, so especially if you are bringing in new teammates into your business, I would highly recommend that you teach them this skill first, because it's really going to help them in the long run. And if you've been doing your business for a while, it's not too late. It's fine. You can still do this, and I recommend that you do. So whenever I feel stuck, maybe if I use Facebook paid advertising, I do blogging and stuff like that. But if ever I'm feeling stuck, or I'm really kind of struggling to come up with ideas of what to post or what topics to talk about, then this is my kind of go-to thing if ever I'm feeling stuck, to get me kind of centered and get me back on track. So, as I said, it's really crucial to understand who it is that you want to talk to. So you need to start by making a list of what your perfect customer looks like, and also your prospect, because they might be different people. You might be looking for slightly different qualities in somebody who you would love to, attract to your business for, maybe the next leader or something. And then you'll have customers as well. So I want you to start off by going and writing a list, and you can use the resource that I'm giving you this week to do this. So go and, make a list of what your perfect customer or your perfect prospect looks like. So maybe maybe you have a certain gender, depending on what your business is. If you're in makeup, then it's going to be predominantly women. If it's weight loss, it can be both. But, so have a think about what your business is and who it is that you want to target and you want to work with. Maybe you have certain locations that you can only deal with. Maybe you would love to be able to do, if you like doing kind of home parties or events and stuff like that, then maybe you would really want to focus on your local area. Or obviously if you are, doing online, obviously you have, you've got access to so many more people, but again, maybe your company only goes to specific locations. So have a think about whether you have some specific locations, and then also, what kind of interests do they have? So what are common interests that they have? And you can do things like, it's sort of, where do they hang out? So do those people maybe predominantly sort of look for solutions on Facebook? Are they more of a YouTube kind of crowd? Are there forums and stuff that maybe they hang out in? All these kind of different things. What magazines do they read? What books do they read? What kind of celebrities do they follow? Maybe there's certain gurus within that industry that they follow. So you think about network marketing, it's we follow people like Eric Worre, Ray Higdon, all these different interests, people that we follow. But it's important to write these down because you can actually use these if you then use a Facebook business page and do some paid advertising. But this is really, even that aside, it's really crucial to understand who it is that you're talking to. And when you do this, you can then, it makes creating posts, content, anything, talking to people so much easier. Then the next thing I want you to do is then, once you've kind of got an idea on, about who it is that you're looking for, but then you've also got what is it that your prospects or your potential customers are looking for. So in this resource that I'm giving you, you've got a worksheet where you can list all the things I've just mentioned, but then also I want you to go and list all of their pains. So these are, pains and struggles. So what is it that your prospects are trying to get away from? What keeps them up at night? What are they struggling with? What are they stressed about? So again, so a couple of examples. So, for business wise anyway, so it might be that people are like, I was in a full-time job that it was okay, but after finding network marketing, I didn't want to be in a job anymore. I wanted to have the freedom, to do what I wanted. So pains and struggles of somebody who works full time, it's that dreaded alarm clock. And I've been able to turn that blessed, that alarm clock off now, which is amazing. But, it's getting up too early. It's going to work for somebody else every day and making their dreams come true. It's, you've got to wait and you get paid, month at a time, living paycheck to paycheck, having to wait, there's never enough month left, and you run out of money already. It's working 40 hours a week. It's having to drop your kids off at school or nursery because you've got to go back to work more to pay for it. There's so many different things. Being bored shitless in your job. Maybe you work in a horrible place. The commute, the traffic, all those different things. Or maybe if you're a mum, it's as I said, it's having to take your kid to nursery, and you're having to go back to work before you're really wanting to, or maybe having to go back to work more than what you're wanting, so you're literally just going to work to pay for childcare, and seeing their little face all sad, all these different things. So really list out all of these pains that you can think of to do with your, with your prospects and people that you're targeting. Or if it's weight loss, it's going to be that feeling fat and frumpy. Maybe you're not feeling very sexy right now, or maybe your clothes aren't fitting great, or you're out of breath walking up the stairs or playing with your kids, or, all these different things. So just list out all of those things to do with your industry that you're in. And then do the opposite in terms of what is it that they would love? What's the desires for those people? What is it that they're looking for? So, you know, if it's that they're looking for, want time freedom, they want to be able to travel more, they want to be able to just live the life that they want. Maybe they don't want to work for anybody else, or they want some extra money to take the pressure off, you know, like Christmas time, or just being able to go on holiday more. You know, they want to be at home with their kids to see them, you know, their first step, and not miss out on any moments, and not have to feel guilty about, you know, letting work down, you know, all these different things. So have a think about then all of these desires for your prospect. And when you've got this list, it makes it so much easier to be able to come up with content of things to post, because you can use, you know, parts of your list now to say, like, you know, how would you like to, and then you could use couple of your examples from your pains and struggles list. You know, how would you like to get rid of feeling like this, and, you know, be able to do this, and use one of your kind of solution and desires. You know, when people see, like, oh my God, I'd love to find a way I could quit my job, tell me more. But when you're using this in your wording, or in your videos, or, you know, whatever it is that you're doing at the moment to be able to promoting your products or your business, it makes it so much easier, because now you could go and do a video or create some content about, you know, what it's like to have to drop your kid. I mean, I'm not a mum yet, but, you know, I've got so many friends who obviously they hate having to drop their kids off at nursery because they've got to go back to work. I've seen people have to come back to work and do more hours than they wanted because they wouldn't let them do part-time hours, you know, things like that. So you can then use this list to create content. So it makes it so much easier, you know. So especially if you look at my episode 1, which I did last week, which is all about benefits versus features. So go and check that out if you haven't seen that yet. But you can then use, you know, all of those things that you know about your audience, and create content and think and talk about those benefits of your product. So you could do some tips on, you know, kind of healthy recipes. If you're in health and weight loss, you know, you could do some tips, you know, like 3 healthy recipes to feed the whole family, you know, on a budget, or, you know, 3 quick exercises to do in 10 minutes a day, or, you know, how you can run a business when you've got a family of 3 and you've only got an hour a day, you know, things like that. It gives you so many more ideas. So I do exactly the same thing. And so last week I was struggling a bit with coming up with ideas. So I did the exact same process. And even though I know this stuff and I've been doing this for kind of 2-3 years, every time I get stuck, I go back to basics, if you like. So it's one of those steps that's so important to keep on top of and make sure you understand, because then, you know, I went and wrote a whole list of, okay, what is it that my audience is looking for? What skills do they want to learn? What struggles do they have? What is it that they're looking for? And then I came up with so many ideas, and I've now got this whole list of content ideas from the back of doing that. So it really, I know it helps from personal experience. So really take that time and say, I'm giving you this free download. So underneath this video, if you're on my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe, but there'll be a link to grab this free resource. You'll be able to get all of this training again on jennystevenscoaching.com/02download. If you're already on my blog, great. There should be a big button below for you to grab that resource now. And it's a great worksheet you can use over and over again. And just write out all of those things. So let's just recap quickly. So use this worksheet, write out who it is that you want to be able to work with. If it's people that you're wanting to attract to your business, to be teammates, what sorts of people does that look like? in terms of age, maybe it's location, interests. But then the most important part is then listing out the pains, the struggles of people. What is it that they're wanting to get away from? What keeps them up at night? You know, what they just fed up with feeling like? And then what's the outcomes? What's the desires that they're looking for? What is it that they want to have? And when you've got that, you know, when you've got those two lists, you can use that for your content. So, you know, a kind of easy formula for kind of headlines, for whether it's for blog posts or for if you're doing Facebook Lives, you can use this formula to use as your titles of your Facebook Live. So it could be how to, and then you could insert a couple of the, some of the desires. So you could list out, you know, like how to lose weight with 30 minutes a day or something like that, and then without, and then use some of the pains and struggles, you know, so something like that. So hopefully that helps. Grab that download now. It's completely free. Just pop in your email, you'll be able to download that straight away. And make sure you subscribe to this video if you're on my YouTube channel, and I will look forward to seeing you next week. Feel free to share this video with anybody who you may find useful, and let me know, you know, once you've done this exercise, let me know in the comments if you found this useful and if it really, you know, opened up your eyes to, and it's been able to help you create content. I'd love to be able to hear, you know, how you guys are able to use this and how it helps you in your business. So that's all for this episode. I will see you all next week. Take care. Bye.